Hi, Gary here. In this short video we're talking about the Swift gas 240 volt hot water system. So this hot water system is fitted in the entire Crusader range. Swift products, proudly Australian. We've talked about them before, built to the highest standard. So this tank is 28 litre in capacity, stainless steel, and therefore no sacrificial anode. 240 volt gas operation. Let's check it out. So let's start by looking at 240 volt operation. We're plugged into power and we've got mains water pressure. So find your 240 volt isolation switch, usually located either in the ensuite or in the kitchen, clearly marked HWS. And then simply make sure it's in the on position. So to operate this unit on 240 volt, obviously we need power. So first thing is to locate your hot water system. Now it'll either be under the fridge or in the ensuite. Find the tank and find the plug. And to operate this tank, it needs to be plugged in to a 240 volt power point. Now, whilst I've got your attention, there's a very important warning, very clearly marked here. And this states very clearly that you should not use this hot water system if there is no mains water pressure or you have no water in the tanks. You'll simply boil the tank dry. And I'll make this very clear that neither Crusader or Swift will warrant the unit if the tank is used without water. So having pressed the 240 volt switch, the element in the tank heats the water, and that water is constantly topped up by the mains water pressure. And so now let's talk about a free camp situation or operating the hot water system from gas. And a few things we need to get in place before we can do that. So obviously we need gas in the gas bottles. Those gas bottles need to be turned on. The isolation valve directly to the water tank needs to be in the on position, and your 12 volt pump needs to be on and ready to go. And then we head to the electrical cupboard where you'll find the 12 volt ignition switch, and that is simply a case of turning it on. So clearly marked hot water gas, just a press of the button. You'll notice that red light. When that's flashing, the burners are trying to light, and when it's solid, the burners are lit. Just a quick tip, if you've just arrived and you need a tank of hot water quicker and you have the availability of both 240 volts and gas, you can press both switches and heat that initial tank of water from both power sources. Now obviously we don't recommend that you use gas and 240 volt together continuously, so when that tank's reached temperature, flick one of the switches off and continue using it on either gas or 240 volt. So to reiterate, the worst thing you can do with any hot water system is to run it dry, and it is not covered under any warranty. So in a free camp situation, always monitor your water level indicators and ensure there is enough water in the tanks. If for any reason the tanks are low, turn off the hot water system, refill the tanks, turn on your 12 volt pump, and away you go. So I hope that gave you some insight into the workings and operation of the Swift hot water system. And as always, if you need any more tips or advice, contact your local Crusader dealer.